Hi everyone, it's Dawn Fisher, Morning Glory Needleworks. Welcome to FlossTube number 47. Can you believe it? As always, thank you to everybody who subscribed, commented, liked my channel. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. As always, links are below the description or the comments section. Plus, I break my videos into chapters, as most of you know. All you have to do is go to the chapter section in the comments or in the description and click on the timestamp for the section of the video you want to see, and it will take you directly there. So I guess that's it for the intro blurb. So it's the 1st of December, 2023, and not a lot's going on right now, which is okay. It's been pretty quiet, but not as usual. First, I just want to say I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I did, of course. You know, this is my first Thanksgiving alone in a lot of years, 14 years. So I actually have connected with some high school friends, and I graduated 50 years ago. This year was my 50-year anniversary, or whatever it is, reunion. And a lot of the people, not a lot, a few of the people in my high school, in my class, have moved very close to this area within a short amount of driving distance. Some are really close, some quite a bit further. Anyway, but one of them invited me over, Karen Weiner, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Anyway, her married name. Anyway, she invited me over for Thanksgiving dinner with her and Jeff Holtenhoff, who was also in our class, that they're dating now, and some other friends from high school, their spouses, another friend from the area, the same age group, but they did not go to our high school. So anyway, it was really nice. We had a nice group. We had a wonderful dinner, turkey, ham. I came home with lots of yummy leftovers, so I didn't have to cook for a couple of days. And anyway, so that was it was good. It was a good Thanksgiving. And this year, again, it's my first Christmas without Jeffrey. So a lot of my family is coming down here. My sister has a timeshare in Orlando, which isn't too far from here. So they always come down, like for the last week of the year is usually when they come down. And I don't know who else coming down. She's bringing my mom down. My mom will probably spend a couple days here with me. And then my brother is also going to be in the area. They're traveling in their Airstream, and they're going to be spending a couple weeks at the Fort DeSoto campground here in St. Petersburg. So I will have family and friends, or family all around me, and relatives and friends, and so I won't be alone. I'm not too worried about it, but I'm just so glad they're going to be here. So anyway, that's that part, the holiday section. The good thing is I'm going to be going to a one-day stitch-in on the 2nd, so Saturday, December 2nd. So that's going to be a fun day, because it was supposed to be Ann Williamson. She has one once a month at a library, but we couldn't get the usual room, and then so many people wanted to come. She actually went to the hotel we stay at in Brandon when she does the big 3-day retreat, and she rented a room for a day. And so we're going to be meeting there, and we don't have to bring any food. They have this wonderful baked potato bar where you get these like baked potatoes that are so huge, and then they have all the toppings you can put on them. So it's wonderful. So, and another nice thing is she lets me set up shop at her retreats. I get a table to put all my stuff on, or as much stuff as I want to bring. It's only a one-day retreat, so I'm not going to do a huge setup like I would for a 3-day retreat. So anyway, so that'll be good because I have some new goodies for sale. In my last video, I talked about I was going to go to the Antiques Extravaganza at Reniger's Antique Mall in Mount Dora, which is huge. It's a big 3-day extravaganza. I usually just go for Sunday, and then I stay the night. And on the way home from that is another flea market at Webster, which is also huge. It wasn't as big this time because it's not a holiday. Oh God, I don't know why I yawn when I'm in here. So anyway, I went there. So I spent, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours walking around on Sunday. And I got quite a few between both flea markets. I found about 40 new salt cellars, the little the little round glass salt cellars that people make pin cushions out of. When I sell them, I give, if you want it, I have little like 1-inch wool balls that fit inside. That way you don't have to make anything, or you can cover it or whatever. So I ran into I didn't see a lot of them, but there was a few dealers that had like a big group of them. So I just said how much for all of them, you know, and so I get pretty good prices that way. And I like to keep my prices when I sell them low. And so if I can get them low, I'll sell them low. So, and I got a lot of nice ones. Some of them are round, some are, I got some cut glass ones, which are really nice. Pressed glass. Some of them are square with a round hole, and I got a few porcelain ones from Czechoslovakia. So I have them all cleaned. Actually, for the first time, I loaded them all in the dishwasher, which I've never done before. It was kind of leery because I was afraid they were going to fall, but they didn't. So they're all pretty and clean and shiny. I was looking for, also looking for glass flower frogs and the dishes, those milk glass dishes with the lacy edges that you can put the flower frogs in. I didn't find a lot of those. A lot of people wanted more than I sell them for to purchase them, but I did find a couple of nice ones. I found one that was really nice. It's got a cover on it and then the lacy edge so you can put your scissors around it. I found a really big, huge, heavy glass dish with a big flower frog, which is really nice. So anyway, I'm going to have those for sale. And I did find a few fun things for me, not much. I wasn't looking for stuff for me. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on me, but I did find one of those old vintage, it's, you know, tall, not very big, sparkly Christmas tree. It's blue with the sparkly branches, and it's like a Charlie Brown tree. So it's just got the few little arms that come off of it. That's a kind of tree my grandpa always cut down. He always went out in the woods and cut out one of the trees with the long, narrow branches, not the big bushy ones. And that gives you a lot of room to hang the ornaments. Anyway, I got that. I stopped at it. It was actually at an antique mall in Mount Dora. I went after I left Reniger's. It was still early. I couldn't get into my hotel room because I got there very early. I left here. I drove up there Sunday morning, and it's over a 2-hour drive. So I was up and on the road pretty darn early, and I was done early there because it was hot, and I forgot my hat, and I went through everything very quickly. Because I didn't want to spend a lot of time looking at stuff. I mean, I did look at a few things, and I kind of went inside. They have a big, huge building, but that stuff was too much. You know, I wanted just what I was looking for. So I went there, and then I went to the antique mall, and then that's where I found the tree. So I brought that home, and then I went out to dinner that night and had like a ginormous margarita. It was 16 ounces. That's pretty big. I don't drink much anymore. So, but it was good. And it had a lot of alcohol in it, but it took me a while to drink it all, but I did. And then I had enchiladas and stuff. Anyway, so that was my fun. And I have something I'll show in a little bit one of the things I got when I was there. So, but that's attached to something else. So I will show you that. And oops, I want my laptop. So I can't remember. I believe I mentioned before that my old laptop was acting up. So I took it in to be checked out. The tech said, hey, it needs a new operating system, which means we have to wipe the drive and put a new operating system on, which means all my programs need to be reinstalled. But unfortunately, the program I use for charting my needlework patterns and then there's two programs. One I use for charting and one I use for all my diagrams, my needlework diagrams. And the person I bought them from, the company, is not responding. They have not been responding to emails lately. There's no CD. You have to download it. He has to email you a link. This is what happened last time. It took him a couple weeks to get back to me. But he gave me a link and I had to go download the program because there's a lot of updates to it. So I've emailed him twice already to 2 different email addresses that are on the website. And he doesn't respond. A lot of designers use this program, both the programs, and he is just not responding. And he may have retired. We don't know what happened, but I wish he would allow a group of people even offered to buy the rights to the program so we could give it to somebody, a programmer who could keep it up to date for us. Somebody had volunteered to do that. I mean, we probably had to pay him, but this is important. This is what we use. And I can't lose that program. If I do, I can't do my stitch diagrams anymore. I found another program, but it's not as good. If any of you have any suggestions for stitch diagrams programs, let me know. The one I'm using is what am I using? Stitch Whiz and Easy Grapher. Those are the 2 programs I'm using. And I have the Win Stitch, and then they have I think that's the Stitch program that they have, but it's just not as user-friendly as what I'm doing. It has a lot of good stuff, but some of the stuff is kind of clunky, the way you have to make the stitches. Anyway, so back to my original story. I decided instead of wiping this laptop, I'm actually still on my old laptop. I decided to buy a new laptop. There's a lot of good deals out there right now. I wanted another Dell. That's what this one is. So I went on the Dell website and I kept going back and forth and back and forth. And then I found one that had everything I wanted. It was actually on sale for, I don't know, at least $200 off. So I was still hemming and hawing, and I belong to Rakuten. I don't know if you know what that is, but they give you cash back if you buy from certain websites. You can get a percentage of cash back. Well, right now they have some good deals. And I was supposed to get like 2% back or something, which is fine. But they sent me an email and go, hey, by the way, 10% off on Dell, these laptops. So not off, you get it back. So you have to pay, and then they Rakuten every quarter, I think it is, they send you a check. So I'm like, okay, 10% off, I'm going to do it because that saved me, a nice chunk of money. So anyway, I got the new laptop. I have not transferred much to it yet. It has, mostly I use like Microsoft Office 365. So it was already there. All I really had to do was log in, and everything was there. The programs, of course, my patterns are not there. Or my not patterns, but all my files are not there because I have not transferred them yet. And it's my understanding you shouldn't transfer the files until you have the program. So I was waiting on to see if I could get my Stitch programs back because I don't want to transfer the files and not have the program there. I don't know. I am not a computer expert. I know a lot. I can do a lot. I mean, I've been using computers since I think we had a Texas Instruments TI-99 or something back in the 80s. So I've been using, you know, I'm not an expert, but I can do stuff. So anyway, I'm still working on this. I've actually been checking into programs that can transfer files. There's a lot of different ways to transfer files, but this one called PC Mover will transfer programs too. The only thing in digging through and reading the fine print, it's not expensive. It's only like, I don't know, $39 for one of them. But you can transfer, like I could transfer the program over, but it would not necessarily bring all the updates. So it may not work. So I'm not sure. And if anybody has used PC Mover, please let me know, because I need some feedback. I've heard it's really good, but again, I don't know. And if nothing else, I can just transfer my files. Well, then I know there's a lot of different ways to transfer files. The nice thing is because a lot of my passwords were in Google and Windows and other things, a lot of my passwords transferred over. So I didn't have to type them all in again. I could just bring them over. So that's that's something new. I haven't bought a new laptop in years, obviously, but anyway, so like I said, other than that, I'm using it. The pain is I'm using my new laptop for all my new designs and new stuff. And the latest pattern I have out, I moved it to my new laptop, but I had to fix a stitch diagram, so I had to go onto my old laptop, fix the diagram, put it in a Word document, email it to myself, pick it up on the new laptop, and take it from there. So it's kind of a pain. I basically had to have two laptops sitting there working and going between them to get this pattern done, because I wanted it done before this weekend. So anyway, and I'll be talking about that in just a couple of minutes. But other than that, like I said, I'm very happy with it. It's got a few weird things. I've had to go in and shut off some kind of weird, it reminded me of the old screen of death thing. I had to go online on my phone and find some kind of weird code to input it. And I looked up, the first thing I looked up after that was, how do I shut this thing off? So I did. I don't even remember what it was called. But anyway, it's off. So other than that, I'm pretty happy, and hopefully I can get everything transferred over. I'm a little slow with that kind of stuff. So as long as both laptops are working, and also I record all my videos on Zoom. Actually, I don't use fancy programs. I just use a Zoom meeting and record it. I can bring it into YouTube and edit it there. Excuse me. And edit it there. So not fancy editing, but at least, so the new laptop, I downloaded Zoom and signed in, and of course it's the new updated version. And with the old Zoom, I just click on one button and my meeting comes up. And now I don't know what I got to do. So I went in there tonight and it's like, I don't have time for this. So I'm going back to the old laptop. So anyway, I'm back on my old laptop right now, and that's okay, because also the program for my, the program I use for my camera is not on my new computer either, or my new laptop. Things you think of when you go to use something, it's like, it's not there. So anyway, that's my fun stuff that's been going on here. I don't know if you saw that. I accidentally hit a program that turned on a program. Anyway, so now in the last one, the last video, I talked about my almost finished sampler. So it is finally finished. This is MM 1885. This is that big long sampler. And I said I was going to show you something that I got this at the flea market, and it's perfect. I've been thinking about doing this for a while. I mean, it fits on here just perfect. This is just a old wooden spool. And so I just kind of ran a ribbon through it, but here it is. And it's perfect on here. I don't know if I had it all done. What I did is I backed it with a sateen, off-white sateen fabric. So it's kind of shiny smooth. And then in between the layers is a Pellon 285F, I think it is. It's a fusible interfacing. It's a little stiffer than I wanted, but it's not bad. It took a lot. It's still not totally ironed on. I kept ironing it and ironing it anyway. And then the edges are just right. I thought I had the package sitting here for it, but it's the bias tape. And this is a pale pink bias tape. And then when I did, I had some linen left and some of the more of the, because you get 3 yards of this, and I had a couple feet left. So I took a piece of linen and edged it with this bias tape. And then it's not sewn on very fancy, but I ended it with another piece of bias tape. So it's a finished edge on the linen. And again, it's the fabric and then the iron on in the middle. So the only thing is it kind of slides around, but that's okay. But I think it looks great. I'm so excited. And it just, when I roll it up, this will be perfect for going to shows and things. All I need to do is roll this up and it fits perfect on here. I was just so excited. I didn't find a lot of these spools. I bought a couple of extra smaller ones, though. This is the only one I found that was this size. Sometimes they sell them and they're just so expensive. It's just crazy. So I found this one and it was reasonably priced. And so I grabbed it, like I said, along with a few other things she had for sale. And I'm just so happy. So that is that. And it is now on my Etsy shop. This is the MM 1885 sampler. That's what I've called it. These are all the colors. There's like over 30 colors, I think, in it. But it's so beautiful. The colors are so bright. The pictures never do it justice. And it's very hard to get a big long picture like that. I had to like put it up on the wall, on the door, white door, and get a picture of it. And then I just did some close-ups of the top and the bottom. And it's different because you're stitching over one. So the chart is actually, each square on the chart is actually one thread. So the sampler is 110 threads wide and 987 threads long. So the design area ends up being 3.9 inches wide and 35¼ inches long. That's a design area, and then plus whatever you leave on the outside of it. But so this pattern, it's $25, and it has, the chart is like 13 pages, and I wanted to make sure it was big enough. So it's big, it's easy to see. Also, the charts, some of the instructions are 2 pages. So here's your chart for this. So I tried to make I made the diagrams really big, and this is that program I was talking about That's so wonderful. So I have large diagrams for some of them have 2 different diagrams because there's so many colors. I want to make sure that you understand what colors to work. So there's, I think, 15 pages of instructions and 13 pages of chart. So it's a lot, but like I said, I hate it when I get a pattern and I can't figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. Anyway, so this is available in my Etsy shop, and there's a link in at the end. You know, I said all the links are at the end. There's a link to my Etsy shop, and I think this is one of the first patterns. It's available in printed, or you can just do a digital download. So it's available and you can have it right then. Otherwise, you have to wait for me to mail it to you. Or if you see me at a retreat or somewhere, that's why I wanted to have it available for this weekend. And it's funny, I posted it, and within, I think, 5 minutes, somebody had already bought it. And look, it was a friend of mine, Jennifer Nardiello. And so she purchased it. So I was excited. It's like, wow, that's fast. So that always makes you feel good. So anyway, that's that. I'm really excited about it. And I'll have more news in the next FlossTube. It just was announced today that I'm going to be teaching the button box. I don't have it out. The button box and my latest alphabet of stitches is the Indian River EGA. I'll have to find a link to it and put it in the description. That's in Florida. And I'm going to be teaching that in February 12th, I think it is the button box. And then the 13th and 14th is the alphabet of stitches. I may have to dig that out. I was going to get it out, but things have been a little hectic here lately. So even though I said there's not much going on, there always is. But anyway, so I'm excited about that. But she just announced it on Facebook. So if you go to the Morning Glory Needleworks Facebook page, I have a link to it there. There's the information. There's a flyer that she posted, and I shared it to the Morning Glory Needleworks Facebook page. So you can go right to that and find it also. Okay, that's enough of that. I'm very excited for the stitch of the month. It's the last stitch of the month for 2023. Get my stuff here. And this is one of my favorite stitches. It's not complicated. I just love the way it looks. It's called canvas lace. See how that looks like lace on there? That turned out really nice. So anyway, if you do it with a dark color, I did it in the dark pink that I'm using. I've done it before in dark blue and other colors like that, and it shows up really, really nice. It's a simple stitch. Famous last words, but I promise it is. So that is the stitch of the month. Matter of fact, let me pull up. I think I have it on. This one is bigger. This is one of my patterns. It's Fair Virtue. I have the kit for this for sale. So there is the canvas lace also, but I've redone this. This is my second rendition of it. And then the third rendition actually is for sale as a kit with all the silk threads. It's for sale in my Etsy shop. It's actually a featured. So when you go right on the website or on my Etsy shop, but this is canvas lace here. And I don't have it out. I did it on the Martha Washington one with black lace to represent morning. So anyway, so the stitch of the month, sampler for 2023 is finished. We've got 12 different stitches. Of course, I did mine in the sulky threads, which I love. You can do it in DMC, whatever colors you want. I like the bright, pretty colors. You can do it in whatever you want. And then, and both of these, this is the enlarged chart, and then the diagram. Now this only shows a small section of this because otherwise it'd take up the whole page. And so this will be available on the Stitch of the Month Facebook group. Again, there's a link to it. All you have to do is join the group. I load these usually at midnight, the day right around midnight, depends on how late I stay up, the day the video posts, which this will be December 1st. So this is, and may I say, yay, Florida. December 1st, hurricane season is over with. Just for those of you that don't live in Florida, this is what we celebrate here in Florida. Anyway, so here's the chart and the diagram. Again, these will be available, and I'm going to go over all of this in a minute. First, I'm going to show you, as I always do, the a little PowerPoint just so you can see it bigger, and then I'll demonstrate a little bit of the stitch. Again, this one's pretty easy, so you shouldn't have any problem with it. So hold on a minute and let me get changed over here. Okay, here we are. So this is a enlargement of the diagram. Now, I did not put any numbers on this. Basically, what canvas lace is, it's basically a cross stitch over 2 threads and then a half cross. So the cross stitch over 2, what you're going to do is you're going to use 1 more strand of whatever floss you're using. So if you're using 2 strands of DMC floss, you're going to use 3 strands for the white stitches in the diagram. This will create that really heavy part of the lace. So you're going to, if I use sulky, so I use 2 strands, because usually sulky is done with 1 strand, but I use 2, which is very thick and clunky. So you may have to get a bigger needle, but like I said, DMC floss, something like that. You just need to use 1 more strand than you normally use to make a really heavy stitch. So you're just going to stitch all the white stitches, which are cross stitch. So just do all of those. And then what you're going to do, you're going to come back once all that is done all the way across. You're going to come back with 1 strand. Now with the sulky, there's not as much difference in the thickness. I mean, sulky, because sulky is pretty heavy, so it doesn't show as well, but it actually showed pretty good on mine. So I made this design kind of big, so you had a lot of open areas, so it would really show. So once you're done with that, the little thin black lines are 1 strand. If you're using DMC, you use 3 strands for the cross stitch and 1 strand for the half crosses. And they're just like every other one. So you're just going to follow the diagram, do the diagonals. You don't have to be really neat about this. I learned this stitch back in the 80s by Chotty Alderson. Actually, if you're in EGA, they have information on Chotty Alderson in this issue of their magazine. So it was kind of fun to see that, because I knew this was the stitch I was going to do. It's not on canvas lace, but she did this sampler that was on canvas, and it had all these different stitches and different nationalities. I can't remember what it was called. I mean, it was back in the mid to late 80s when I did it. I never finished it. I still have it. You people think you have old works in progress. I have really old works in progress too. So anyway, but I use this. I like this. I use it a lot. So anyway, okay, let me demonstrate what I've done is I've already because takes a long time to do the cross stitch. So I've already done like the top section, just the top row, and then the V below it in the white stitches. And then I'm just going to bring this up and show you how to do the half crosses. So I will be right back. Okay, so here we are again. Oops, and of course I bump it just to make it, get my phone out of the way. Whoops, I want to go this way. Okay, so what I've done, like I said, I've just done, that's way too big. Anyway, I've just done this top section across area because you don't need to see how to do all the cross stitching because you should know how to cross stitch by now. And you can see I've actually used 2 strands, so it is a little heavier. This is crochet cotton, so it's not like regular thread. So all you need to do, oh, I forgot to finish what I was saying about Chadi Alderson, and what she said is you can actually be a little messy with it because it makes it look more like real lace. And she actually saw the back of some antique pieces of needlework that have this stitch, and it was pretty messy on the back. I have found this stitch in one of my books on antique needlework and embroidery and samplers. They actually talked about this stitch. So you just like I said, you just kind of follow the diagram, just kind of work your way around and see how it's kind of looking like the netting on lace now. And it's a fun stitch. It's because it's not real complicated and it gives a really pretty effect. And once you understand what holes and where to go, you don't have to pay that much attention. On something big, you can just kind of go, okay, well, this line's going to go all the way up this way. So I know I need to come up here and go this way. And then I can do that. And then I need one over here. So it's not real fussy. It doesn't have to be super neat. You want it almost a little distorted because that gives it more that look of lace that moves. You know, if you look at lace up close, it's a lot of times it's kind of distorted a little bit or crinkly or whatever. So you can kind of see how this works. Again, I thought this would be a fun stitch, and it looks good on the bottom of to end the sampler. Now my sampler, I've said before, I found this big, huge, long piece of 28 count linen. So I actually have 2 years worth of this stitch of the month sampler. So there you go. See how open that is? Of course, this is really big. This is like 10 count canvas, or maybe it's 14. I don't know. It's big. So, but you can see it. It's very open. So that is canvas lace. And this is a nice, easy way to end the year. So let me stop sharing here. And it's me, I'm back. So again, this is the end of your sampler. I just thought it looked really pretty down at to end the sampler. And again, what I've done, I have Stitch of the Month 2022. And then what I did, I just put the next year on here, 2023. So it's not very big. And again, this is 28 count. And this is, I'll start a new one for next year. And if there's any stitches you want to learn, let me know. So this is my 2022, 2023. So if you just have a little scrap of linen or something you want to work on, I have that. I'll probably be able to get another few years on this one. Hopefully I'll be able to keep this up. I know there's a lot of stitches out there because I have my pattern with 365 different stitches on it. So anyway, that's it for FlossTube 47. Again, thank you. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate everybody who comes and watches my videos and comes up to me later and goes, oh, I watch your videos. it's very exciting. And I appreciate you commenting on them and subscribing. I try to answer everybody's comments. I don't always get notified on an older video if there's a comment. So if I don't answer, it's not because I don't appreciate it. It's just I did not get notified. And I don't always go back and check all the old ones. So be sure to subscribe. Don't forget to share any photos of your Stitch of the Month sampler on, get it turned around here, in the Stitch of the Month Facebook group. If you're doing the Stitch a Day, there's a Facebook group for that also. Again, let me know what stitches you want to learn, what antique little goodies you'd like to have me talk about. I'm going to be talking about more of my samplers and that kind of stuff. But we have one more video before the end of the year. I can't even believe it. So anyway, thank you again, and I will see you on the 15th of December. Thanks.